So, how do you let go? What are some brain steps that you can begin to take to help yourself if you're going down rabbit holes, either in the past or things you've got to do, or you just have lots of stress in your life? I'm going to do a visualization and see if that might be helpful for you. But unlike the other visualizations, I want you to do something for maybe 2-3 minutes. So I'm going to describe what I want you to do. Put your cell phone or whatever you're listening to, whether it's your computer or cell phone, put it on pause, do the exercise, and then come back. So what I want you to do is I want you to draw a big plate on a piece of paper. I know that sounds weird, but fill the whole piece of paper with this plate. Could be a platter, could be a plate. And then I want you to write everything that you have on your plate right now. It could be paying a bill. It could be calling somebody. It could be, I don't know, calling a lawyer. It could be going and getting a medical checkup. It could be the politics of the day. Who knows? I want you to go through that exercise. And then what I want you to do is I want you to put an asterisk by everything that you cannot change. Because those things need to be off your plate. You need to take them off your plate. Because if you can't change them, then quit burdening yourself with them. For instance, so many people get embroiled in what's happening, whether they like this person or that person who's in office, what's happening nationally, what's happening internationally. They're mad, they're upset, they're frustrated. And you can be that way, if you want. But how much energy are you willing to expend on something that you probably don't have any say-so over? Now, maybe you do. I certainly don't. So I personally put those on sticky notes and put them in a box and go, okay, you're going to stay there because I can't do a damn thing about you. And I'm going to contain you. I know that sounds weird, but it works for me. If they're something that are near and dear to my heart, I might pray about them. But I am not going to allow my brain to do whatever it wants to do. It can't just go, oh, let's think about this terrible thing and feel like crap all day. No, we're not doing that today, brain. Back in the box, okay? And that's literally what I say to my brain. I know it's weird, but it works. The other things, maybe you put them in a box too, and you make a plan for them. Okay, write them out. And we've talked about this before, right? If there are things that are under your control, make a plan for them. All right, I want you to do this. You don't have to make a plan for everything, but sort them out. And then we're going to do the visualization. So put it on pause and then come back. All right, welcome back. I hope you made your platter or your plate. I hope that a lot of things on your plate are things that you really can't change. Could be your boss. It could be your spouse. It could be what's happening politically. It could be gas prices. I don't know. Hopefully a lot of them were things that you can just take off your plate. For those that you can't take off your plate, let's do a visualization on how to deal with those. All right. I want you to get comfortable. Shut your eyes. And I want you to see yourself at your favorite place. So don't spend a lot of time thinking about what your favorite place is because people get very wrapped up in that. Is it at the ocean? Is it in the mountains? Is it at a park? Have it somewhere that is peaceful and people are going to leave you alone. So wherever that is. Or it might be a place that you'd like to go and you haven't, but you can visualize it. So I'll give you a second to think about where that place might be. All right. So now you're in a good place or your favorite place. And I want you to just sit down and I want you to feel a little bit of a breeze. and it's just calming and cooling your system down. And you can smell the place, and it smells so good. Maybe it's a meadow, maybe it's a mountain meadow, maybe it's the sea, but you can smell the smells of the place, and it's a good smell. It's a calming smell. And I want you to see the things on the platter that are your responsibilities. And I want you to see them kind of lingering in front of you, but they're kind of mobile. So they're little words just lingering in front of your eyes. And I want you to take each one and I want you to pop it into a bubble. And I want you to see it suspended in that bubble. So take each one that is really bugging you, whatever is popping up for you, pop it into a bubble. And as you pop it into the bubble, say, you're going to be suspended there until I decide to take care of you. But right now, you have no impact on me. You can't influence me. You cannot stress me. So I want you to see them just floating. They can't contact you. They can't come up against you. They can't influence you. They're just floating there. And you're in charge of whenever you want to take one of those bubbles down, pop it and deal with it. Maybe write out a plan for it, write out dates of when you're going to complete it. But then when you do that, visualize it going back into the bubble. And those bubbles are just floating there. And then what I want you to do is I want you to get a really beautiful glass box that has a opening on the side of it. And I want you to see those bubbles floating into that box. And now all those bubbles containing all those things that you've been thinking about, they're in that glass box. And you can shut that door, so to speak, and latch it. And at any time, if you want to deal with one of them, you can open that door and you can have that particular issue, problem, chore, whatever it is, float out. And then you can shut the door, and that contains the rest of them. But if it's going to float out, you need to pop it, make a plan for it, put it back in the bubble, and put it back in the glass box so that they are contained and you're in control of when they come out. You get to decide what your brain is doing. So now you see all those things contained. My encouragement to you is once a week, you open that box and you take one thing out. I would start small. Maybe it's something you can do in 30 minutes and go, okay, I can do this. So you take it out, you shut that door. Either you make a plan or you just go do it right then. And then you just see it disperse into the ether and it's gone. And now there's even more room in the box for the bubbles to move around. Take one out a week. You will be surprised if you do this, how very soon that box will no longer have any bubbles in it. It takes time, especially if you've avoided it for a long time. But this is doable. You can do this one step at a time, one bubble at a time. So at night, when you're going to bed and you're laying there and you're not going to sleep yet, and you start to see those problems, put them back in the box, put them in a bubble and say, nope, you're going in the box. See them in the box, shut the door, and go, you're all staying in there because I'm going to sleep tonight. And I don't have to deal with any of you until I decide to. I hope that's helpful. I would give this a try. I know it sounds weird, but it works with the limbic system. And that's the part of the system that creates worry and anxiety and anger and frustration and all those negative emotions. It also gives you good emotions, but it likes things that it can see. So use the box, put them in bubbles, shove them into the box, and then you get to decide when you pull each bubble out, pop the bubble, and decide a plan. And if it's a multi-list plan, in other words, you have to do several different steps, put it back in the bubble. You take care, my friends. You have the right to be happy. You have the right to have a good life. And you have the right to heal. So I hope you have a wonderful day. This is Dr. Jana Price Sharps from Mind Pilot.